It's 11:43 p.m. Marcus hasn't moved from his couch in 4 hours. He has a business plan due Friday, a gym membership he hasn't used in 6 weeks, and a book he's been meaning to finish since January. But right now, he's on his 47th TikTok video, and he feels absolutely nothing. No joy, no guilt, just nothing. Sound familiar? Here's the data point that should stop you cold. According to neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman at Stanford, chronic exposure to high-stimulation digital content can reduce your brain's dopamine receptor density by up to 40%. That means your ability to feel motivated by real life, by exercise, by building something, by reading is literally being erased. Not weakened, erased. I know this because I was Marcus. 3 years ago, I was averaging 9 hours of screen time a day and couldn't sit still for 20 minutes of focused work without my hands reaching for my phone. This isn't a story about willpower. Willpower has nothing to do with it. This is neuroscience, and once you see it, you can fix it. Here's the metaphor I want you to hold on to for this entire video. Imagine a casino. The carpet is loud, the lights never stop, there are no clocks, no windows. Every 30 seconds, somewhere in the room, a machine pays out. Bells, flashing lights, the sound of coins. Your brain, evolutionarily wired to chase reward signals, cannot look away. Your smartphone is that casino, and it never closes. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure molecule, the thing that makes you feel good when you eat a burger or win a bet. That's wrong. Dopamine is not pleasure. Dopamine is pursuit. It's the molecule that says, go get that, now. In 1954, neuroscientists James Olds and Peter Milner at McGill implanted electrodes directly into the pleasure centers of rats' brains. They gave the rats a lever. Pull the lever, stimulate the reward circuit, get a hit of dopamine. The result was horrifying. The rats stopped eating, they stopped sleeping, they stopped mating. They pulled that lever until they collapsed from exhaustion and died. They had access to everything they needed to survive. They chose the lever. Not similar to what we're doing, identical. Every scroll, every notification, every infinite feed is your lever. And your brain, your magnificent, ancient, 200,000-year-old brain, cannot tell the difference between survival reward and a dopamine hit from a meme. This is not a character flaw. This is a biological glitch. The casino found a way inside your skull. Now, let's go inside the mechanism, because understanding your enemy is the first step to defeating it. Your body is governed by a principle called homeostasis, a biological thermostat. When your body gets too hot, you sweat. When it's too cold, you shiver. Your brain does the same thing with neurochemicals. When you flood your brain with unnaturally high spikes of dopamine from short-form video, from gaming, from junk food, from any cheap, easy hit, your brain detects the overload and it protects itself. It performs a process called downregulation. It literally reduces the number of dopamine receptors available in your synapses. Think about that. Your brain deletes its own equipment to protect itself from overstimulation. And here's where the casino metaphor becomes something darker. The casino is no longer just in your phone. Through downregulation, it has moved inside your own neurology. The slot machines are now wired directly into your synapses. You don't need to pick up the device anymore. Your brain has restructured itself around the expectation of the hit. The craving fires before the screen even lights up. The casino built a franchise inside your skull. The result, your new baseline has now been elevated. Your normal is artificially high, and everything beneath that ceiling, studying, going for a walk, reading, building something real, doesn't just feel boring, it feels painful. The signal of motivation genuinely cannot reach you because the receptors that would receive it have been turned off. This is why drug addicts describe sobriety as gray. This is why someone who quits gaming for a week reports that the first few days feel like depression. It is a form of withdrawal. The seesaw has been pushed so far to one side that returning to balance feels like falling. And here's the cruelest part. Dr. Anna Lembke at Stanford, author of Dopamine Nation and one of the world's leading experts on reward circuitry, found that this chronic dopamine dysregulation directly impairs your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning, discipline, and long-term thinking. You're not just unmotivated, you are neurologically impaired in your ability to choose hard things over easy ones. The casino didn't just steal your time, it stole your executive function. 7 days, that's all. But I'm going to tell you exactly what each day will feel like, what's happening inside your brain, and precisely what to do, so that when the hardest moment comes, you don't quit. Day 1, dead signal. You'll reach for your phone reflexively. Your hand will actually move before your brain registers it. This is the dopaminergic habit loop in your basal ganglia firing on autopilot. Your receptors are still downregulated. The signal isn't there yet. You're running on empty pipes. Every time your hand reaches for your phone, replace the action with 5 deep nasal breaths. This activates the vagus nerve and triggers your parasympathetic system, your biological braking system. Day 2, the itch. Irritability, a low-grade anxiety, a feeling that you're missing out on something. Boredom will feel almost physically uncomfortable. Your brain is detecting the absence of dopamine spikes. Cortisol rises. Your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, is misfiring. Go outside and walk for 20 minutes without headphones. No music, no podcast, just walk. This is active discomfort tolerance training. Day 3, the wall. I need to pre-arm you right now. This is the hardest day. Hear this before it arrives. You will feel a wave of motivation to quit. It will feel completely rational. Your brain will have a convincing internal argument for why this is unnecessary, why you're being extreme, why one video won't hurt. That voice is withdrawal. That feeling is proof the protocol is working. Marcus hit day 3 at 2:11 p.m. He deleted Instagram, felt relief for 6 minutes, then reinstalled it, stared at the icon for 30 seconds, deleted it again. He ended up sitting on his bathroom floor, back against the tub, phone face down on the tiles beside him, doing nothing, just breathing for 11 minutes. It was the hardest 11 minutes of the entire week. He finished the day. For the first time, you'll also notice brief moments of genuine focus cutting through the static, 30 seconds of clarity where it all feels possible. That's your nervous system recalibrating. That's your brain beginning to rebuild. Do one hard thing for exactly 25 minutes using the Pomodoro method. Set a physical timer, not your phone. When it rings, you're done. Note how that session felt compared to day 1. Day 4, baseline rising. A surprising calm, less internal noise. Tasks that felt impossible at the start of the week begin to feel accessible. Dr. Anna Lembke at Stanford calls this the resensitization window. Your receptors are recovering. Real-world rewards are starting to register again. Introduce your first investment activity, a 20-minute workout, a cold shower, or a difficult problem you've been avoiding. Notice the sustained clarity that follows. Day 5, the quiet. For the first time in perhaps years, you may experience real boredom, not the anxious phone-craving kind, but quiet mental space. Ideas surface, random creativity. This is your default mode network awakening, the brain's rest and reflect circuitry. Years of constant stimulation had it suppressed. Spend 15 minutes doing absolutely nothing. No journaling, no walking. Sit. Let your mind go wherever it wants. This is the practice. Day 6, signal clarity. Motivation arriving uninvited, a desire to work on something that matters, the sensation of satisfaction from completing a task, actually feeling it. Your nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward hub, is responding to natural stimuli again. The casino is losing its grip. Write down 3 long-term goals, not tasks, goals. Describe what your life looks like in 2 years if you protect this clarity daily. Day 7, the return. Not euphoria, not a dramatic transformation, something quieter, a sense of agency, the feeling that hard things are possible. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated behavior, has begun laying new structural pathways. 7 days is not a cure, it is a foundation. Design your new dopamine sequencing system. For every 8 hours of disciplined, low dopamine work, you earn 2 hours of high dopamine reward. And those rewards always come at the end of the day, never the beginning. Morning belongs to your future self. On the final day, Marcus sat down at his desk at 7:14 a.m. with a glass of water. No phone, no music. He opened his business plan, and for the first time in 2 years, he didn't fight himself to stay seated. He just worked. 2 hours passed. It felt like 20 minutes. He didn't become a different person. He just returned to himself. The desert island principle holds. When you starve your brain of the artificial 5-star buffet, a bowl of plain rice becomes the most satisfying meal of your life. The work becomes the reward. The hard thing becomes the preferred thing. That's not motivation. That's biology working correctly. Here's something most people don't know about commitment. When you make a public declaration, your prefrontal cortex activates a process called implementation intention encoding. Your brain treats the declared goal as a real-world obligation. It begins preloading the decision-making circuits needed to execute it. Public commitment is not social performance. It is a neurological reinforcement mechanism. So right now, in the comments below, type 3 words, "I'm starting today." Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. In exactly 7 days, come back to this video. Report what broke. Report what held. Report what surprised you. Because this comment section is not a place of opinions about willpower. It is a record, an empirical proof of concept of people who chose discipline over the default. The casino will still be there in 7 days. The question is whether you will. It's 11:43 p.m. Marcus hasn't moved from his desk in 4 hours. He has a business plan. It's done. He has a gym bag by the door for tomorrow morning. He has a book finished, and his phone is across the room, face down, uncharged. He picks it up, not to scroll, to plug it in. He sits down, closes his eyes, and for the first time in years, the silence feels like enough. The casino is closed.